Hey guys, as you can see here at RM Media, it's Christmas time, and you know what? I get a lot of Christmas presents from time to time, and I want to talk to you a little bit about one that just came from my good buddies over at Fenwick. So they sent me 5 new rods to check out and look at. These are some production rods that they introduced at ICAST back in July, and it's the Fenwick Elite Inshore Series. So, to get started, we're going to talk about, for those of you guys that love bait casting. Now, certainly a lot of you guys that fish in the Gulf, whether it's Louisiana or Mississippi or Texas, this is certainly a rod that you're going to love because of the short handle. It's perfect for wading. It'll allow you to throw your bait caster a long way, matched up with a pin fathom reel. It's going to get the job done for you. This particular rod is a 7-foot medium action fast tip. And what that basically means is you could throw anything from an 1/8 ounce lure all the way up to a 1 ounce lure. It's got plenty of backbone. It's got 9 Fuji K-Series guide with the alkanite insert. Now, all of these rods are going to have the Fenwick 30-pound carbon core with the woven graphite out on the outside. And I'm going to tell you, AAA graded cork, and I love the fact that it has this great locking mechanism that we have here where you lock down your reel, and then again, you have the ability to double lock it so that it doesn't back off. I love this particular rod because of the short butt. It's not going to get in the way whenever we're twitching a topwater lure like the Berkeley Jaywalker 100. Now, for you guys that love to spin fish, they also took that short grip because, as you know, on windy days, a lot of times you'll have a problem with your shirt blowing downwind. We always have a tendency to fish downwind so you can throw further. And with a shorter grip, as you can tell here, it's not going to be fully extended and get caught up, and allows me to put a lot of action on my jig, whether I'm fishing with a jig head with a soft plastic or whether I'm fishing with some type of lure. A lot of times a long rod butt will impede your ability to move freely, and it'll end up messing up. Now, this rod is a light action rod, 7 foot long. And what I really like about this is now this is a rod that I would pick up, could throw a light 1/8 ounce jig head with a soft plastic on it for redfish up on the flats when I'm sight fishing. Be a perfect rod to fish in the Florida Keys for bone fishing with my good buddy Mark Croca down in the Keys. So this, I think, is going to fit quite nicely in our arsenal for when it comes to light tackle fishing. The line that I would probably use would be anywhere from 8-pound to 12-pound braid. If I want to fish mono, probably 10 to 15-pound. So it's going to throw a lure a long ways. Now, as we beef up, and we're going to go maybe some bigger fish, not fish that scream off so much drag, we've taken this same series of rod, again, the Elite Inshore by Fenwick, and now we're bumping up to a medium fast action, but as you can tell, the rating on the line here is 15 to 30 if we're fishing braid, or mono 8 to 17. So this is going to be something that I might want to use for live bait fishing. So if I'm fishing a croaker on the bottom for big redfish on the jetty, this is going to work quite nicely. The other thing that it would work very well for, if I'm fishing a pinfish for a big snook or even some light reef fishing, great rod and reel combo, or this rod would work really well for yellowtail fishing on the reefs and the Florida Keys as well. I love the fact that now we have a little longer grip, so that it's not about casting, it's not about working the line, but it's more about how you can really pull. So now we can take this, put it on a spinning rod. We've got a little longer butt so that we can push it against our forearm while we're fighting the fish. And now it's more about fighting the fish than casting, but it'll certainly work very well for throwing a heavier lure, even a heavier jig. Now, as we want to bump up into the series, we have 2 rods that come to mind that I would use for tarpon fishing. Now, Whenever you guys are considering buying a new rod like this particular Fenwick, they all have K series. It's the, again, the Fenwick Elite Inshore. But what I like about this is if I'm gonna go throw lures for big snook, or I'm gonna go throw lures for tarpon, which we often do at times, you wanna have a rod that still has a light enough tip that you can throw something a long way. And this particular rod I think will work quite nicely. It's gonna be able to fish. This is the medium heavy fast action, 3/4 ounce up to 2.5 ounce, 15 to 30 pound mono line, and 20 to 50 pound braid is the rating. All right, so last and not least in this Fenwick Elite Inshore series is gonna be a rod that we can certainly take to the Gulf. We can certainly use it for our red snapper fishing. We can use it for some light grouper fishing. I love the fact that this has 10 of the Alkanite guides on it by Fuji, but also it's going to allow me to put a 6,000 authority pin reel on here, even maybe up to an 8,500. It's going to have some capacity. I could use this for some light king fishing, throwing lures too, as long as it's a big old lure. This is a heavy action rod. The line rating here is 3/4 to 3 ounce lures with 15 to 30 pound mono and 30 to 65 pound braid. So this would be the perfect rod to take to Trinidad. It's light enough to where I can still throw my lures. I can still throw small baits along the coastline for those tarpon over there. But if I hook that big fish and he takes me out into 75 feet of water or so, guess what? I have the ability to stop him, and I'm gonna have the horsepower here as well as the grip length so that I can form that triangle between here and really put the muscle on that fish and stop him. And I got plenty of power reserve in this last 2.5 to 3 feet of rod. So if you guys have any questions, certainly you can go and check out more YouTube videos on the Captain Rick Murphy channel. Make sure you leave us a comment and click to subscribe.